You get all kinds of overpowered MCs across the beautiful world of anime. From crazy levels of strength in some of the most intelligent masterminds that we've ever seen, but nothing can really compare to absolutely crushing godlike powers. Great to see you again at Animeology. We've got a fun list of anime recommendations for you. Keep in mind that we try to avoid the greats and the most famous, looking to bring you the anime series you've probably never seen, but definitely need to check out. Number 10. The World God Only Knows. A really fun anime series that brings some light elements of romantic comedy together with a well put together harem that is filled with surprisingly unique and diverse characters, as well as an interesting use of the supernatural. The World God Only Knows follows Kima Katsuguri, a second-year high schooler that loves playing gal games, video games that involve pretty anime girls. Known as the God of Conquest for being able to master a 2D girl game, but of course, a complete nerd in school. The series kicks off with our MC receiving a mysterious email offering him a contract to conquer girls. Thinking this is a game challenge, he accepts. A cute demon from hell appears and takes our hero on a whirlwind adventure in which he needs to hunt down evil spirits that have escaped into the human world. Hiding themselves in the hearts of girls and feeding off their negative emotions, these evil spirits get stronger and stronger, leaving these girls as empty husks. The only way to remove the demon and rescue these girls, conquering the girls' hearts, making them fall in love and filling the gap with love. Although he has literally no real-life experience, our MC is dragged into an awesome and hilarious journey of epic proportions. Number 9. Kamichu. A brilliant slice-of-life series with an awesome fantasy element to it, Kamichu takes a close look at the adventure of a teenage goddess and her friends. Yuri, an otherwise shy and ordinary middle school girl, suddenly discovers she's actually a goddess. Although she has no idea what her powers and strength really are, she meets and engages with other divine beings and spirits, slowly learning the ways of the gods in her journey to become a great goddess herself. Set in the early 80s in the city of Onomichi, many of the temples and landscapes shown in Kamichu are real-life locations. Absolutely beautiful and breathtaking landscapes, this is a series that is quite like any other and one that you really need to check out. Number 8. Kami-sama Kiss. One of the most seriously underrated series around, Kami-sama Kiss brings a joyous and hilarious romantic comedy with some really fun and enjoyable supernatural elements to it. A decently successful manga with some absolutely brilliant anime seasons, Kami-sama's Kiss is a watch that you will not regret. Following the story of Nanami Momozono, a high school dirty that dreams of an average and normal life, but is forced to deal with the fact that her father is a problem gambler that has accumulated a huge amount of gambling debt in her name. She can't afford to pay rent and is forced out of her apartment by debt collectors. Now homeless and having to face all these heavy and horrible situations, Nami has a kind heart and a positive outlook. Whilst thinking about her life, on a random park bench she encounters a strange man hanging from a tree, having been chased by a dog. After saving him, the mysterious stranger rewards Nami with a home, showing her that good deeds do go rewarded. We soon learn that he is a godlike being and makes Nami a deity as well. Her life takes a huge turn for the better, and the series develops an interesting way with a brilliantly intimate and engaging romance at its core. A series quite unlike any other that you cannot help but watch with a huge smile across your face. Definitely check out Kami-sama's Kiss. Number 7. panty and stocking with garter belt. Visually, this is one of the most unique looking anime series we've ever come across. As opposed to most other animes, Panty and Stockings looks to pay homage to the classic Western cartoons of the 1990s, although some of the fights and action scenes are still insanely beautiful and an absolute joy to watch. With a strong focus on the perfect blend of action and comedy, Panty and Stocking revolves around the Anarchy Sisters, two angels that were kicked out of heaven due to their unbelievably bad and naughty behaviour. Forced to a city that exists on the border between heaven and hell and filled with evil spirits and ghosts, the sisters have the magical ability to transform lingerie into weapons and use these powerful tools to destroy these ghosts, earning heaven coins in the hopes that they will one day buy their way back into heaven. Heavy on the comedy, this show is not about the epic story or the serious character development, but it is a fun watch that really is quite like any other. Number 6. Level E. Science fiction can also be comedic, and the Level E series perfectly embodies just how hilarious it can be. An absolute joy from the very core, this is an anime series you do not want to miss out on for a great deal of reasons. Just do yourself a favour and go and check it out. Set on an Earth that is covered with thousands of aliens from across the galaxy, kept a secret from the majority of Earthlings, Prince Baka, yes we know Baka, crash lands on the planet and loses his memory. Joining up to a high school, join the prince as he starts to get used to life on Earth. With an exceptionally high IQ, with little interest in anything other than tormenting those around him, we slowly start to meet an interesting and engaging cast of characters that helps make Level E an absolute brilliant and enjoyable watch. Unique and fresh situations and some absolutely fantastic developments help keep this a series that had us clutching our sides from laughter, whilst also thoroughly engaged and eagerly looking forward to the next episode. Number 5. Sasami-san at Gambanari.
静まれ拡散し世界へとろけて眠りなさい
A fun romance with some light elements of comedy and set with an interesting supernatural twist, Sasami-san started off as a reasonably successful light novel series that saw moderate success as a manga and really took off as a brilliant anime series that you should definitely check out. Focusing on Sasami Tsukuyami, a high school shut-in that often stays at home with her only interaction being her affectionate older brother. Unbeknownst to her, Sasami actually has an insane godlike power, able to cause powerful gods to protect her and her brother. We slowly start to learn more and more about Sasami and the nature of these insane godlike powers. With a strong focus on backstory and the core group of main characters, this is a quiet and slow anime that is unlike most others. Definitely a unique and different watch, but one that you need to put on your list. Number 4. The Daily Life of an Immortal King. One of the newer anime series out there, but still an instant classic. The Daily Life of an Immortal King takes an interesting look at what it means to have and use godly powers, and takes an interesting look at what many MCs would just immediately ignore. Focusing on the cultivation genius that is nearly invincible with a skill far beyond his control, this godlike being Wang Ling is entering senior high school, trying his best to live an average and quiet high school life. The Immortal King can't help but encounter challenge after challenge and drag nothing but attention to himself. A fun and interesting watch that really enjoys the sort of careful balance that many high school type animes like to explore. Along with an interesting cast of characters and some reasonably fresh story arcs, we cannot wait to see what comes next from one of the best new anime series out there. Number 3. Utawera Mono. A very strong adventure and fantasy world that started life as a highly successful visual novel game, spreading across the world with multiple sequels and even a manga adaptation. The anime series is a bit short, but definitely worth checking out. The story itself focuses around the mysterious and masked MC Hakuwolo, one day found by two girls in a nearby forest, badly injured and suffering from amnesia. Hakuwolo has no idea about who he is or where he is. Taken to this small village, our hero begins to recover. We soon learn that this village is under insanely greedy and horrible rules. Hakuwolo cannot help but get dragged into this heavy political rebellion that ends up with him sitting at the throne of this new country, soon learning that running a country is not as easy as you'd think. Our MC soon struggles to maintain peace, getting involved with a number of violent and dangerous battles, encountering strong warriors and fighters from across the planet, and further adding to the interesting cast of characters. An awesome fantasy-style story with some underlying science fiction themes. Although the games and visual novels offer you an insane level of freedom in storytelling, the anime series does make some interesting and engaging decisions that make Utawara Mono an absolutely brilliant watch. Number 2. The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya.
ここで春日を返しちゃダメだ。ここで返したら1万何千回と繰り返してきたあの2週間をまた繰り返す羽目になっちまう。
A fantastic blend of comedy and science fiction, this is easily one of the funniest anime series you will ever come across. With a hilarious premise, this highly successful series managed to keep the comedy fresh and unique, having the viewers rolling on the floor laughing over its lengthy and long run. Following Kion as he is dragged by his beautiful classmate Haruhi into a world filled with the supernatural and the strange. Things like aliens and time travelers, and starting up a club known as the SOS Brigade. The unlikely duo involve themselves in all sorts of strange and mysterious cases in order to investigate and solve the cases. We slowly see the addition of a few more interesting characters that all serve to offer interesting and somewhat unique character types that only serve to improve the overall plot developments. Alongside the strengths of individual arcs, we start to get a deeper sense of the overall story through the introduction of a mysterious secret organization and threats that could potentially destroy the entire world. And number 1, Neoranga. An interesting tale of adventure that has elements of comedy, but with some strong, emotional-filled dramatic twists. Neoranga tells the curious tale of 3 orphan sisters that manage to inherit their very own god, a huge dinosaur-type being referred to as Neoranga. Strange and interesting, this is a series that'll keep you guessing between episodes. Our 3 sisters live reasonably uneventful lives when they learn that the death of their long-lost brother has left them as royal rulers of a magical island, placing them under the protection of this gigantic Godzilla-type monster known as Neoranga.